Welcome to the Crooked Stripes Podcast, where your hosts discuss various aspects of lawn care, landscaping, and snow removal. Let these two friendly Canucks help you cultivate a different outlook on the green industry. And with that, here are your hosts, Brendan Brubaker and Martin Hodder.
What if you could 2 to 3x your leads that are coming in? What if you could transform your online brand so that people could find you and want to buy from you? What if your website was an asset rather than something you're ashamed of? If you answered yes to any of these questions, I have a solution for you. Green Frog Web Design is your premier solution for web design in the lawn and landscape industry. Fellow landscapers have found great success with online marketing, and now with our help, they are growing their businesses. Interested in growing your business? Click on the link in the bio for more info.
All right, guys, we're back again for another episode. We are on episode 37, Martin. Look at that. How's it going on your neck of the woods?
Oh, just a great old time out here, having another lovely Monday spraying, buddy. So,
oh, yes.
Now we're here.
Monday. Yep, nice. We're here. Monday night with Hodder. It's beauty. Oh, we got someone else on the pod today, folks. I hung out with this guy early February. We had a couple good nights. Welcome to the podcast, Chad Ofiara from Ferris Mowers.
Thank you. Thanks, Brandon and Martin, for having me on. This is exciting.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on and chatting with us. So,
yeah, I couldn't help it after, the fun times that we had when we brought you out to the factory out there. And
yeah, I know. Yeah,
awesome times.
That was a super cool experience on my end. I never been around something that big, and like you guys do all that in house, which I thought that was so cool. So,
yeah, thanks for coming up. That was one of the things when I first went to the factory for the first time ever. I was like, I cannot believe that this is actually happening here. I can't believe this is happening on planet Earth.
Right.
There's raw steel going in the back door, and maybe 400 mowers a day popping out the front door running.
I know.
It's magic.
Like
it's magic.
Starting them up and running. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, to actually see the mower deck sheet, because that's like step one, right?
Definitely.
Or one of the steps, and then
one of the early steps.
At the other end, you got this running mower that they're testing. So that was super cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like one of the things, we obviously do engines too. So,
yeah, right.
Start to finish. It's like, we control all of it and just are able to, bring things one step at a time from the very beginning to completion. It's pretty awesome to see.
Yeah, it really is. I know. And I love how, like, you guys are in a small town, right? And I just love how it's all Ferris red around there. And you said if you come down here 7 a.m., everyone's running Ferris all over town. I think that's so cool.
So true. Everywhere you go, everybody's out mowing their lawns. Lawn crews are driving around with Ferris on the trailers. Like the town of Sherrill, New York, where the factory is just, it's really cool to have support of the community. Kind of gives you a good feeling when you go out there and see the mowers in action in the town and hear the people talk about it and just see everything that it does for the community. It's pretty neat. It's a little bubble of magical goodness. If you're, Martin, if you're ever in New York, go to Sherrill, New York and check it out. We'll give you the tour as well.
Sounds good. My brother actually lives down in New York, so you never know. Maybe one day I'll venture down that way.
Yeah, come on down.
There we go. Now we're talking. Yeah, so we might have to make that an annual thing, Chad, coming down and going through the factory.
Only annual? I'm down for more.
Yeah. Oh,
there you
okay.
Go. Quarterly.
Hey.
Yeah.
Aim big.
I'm
aim big.
Quarterly check-in.
Let's quarterly check-in.
Yeah.
Where you're in that small town, is a lot of the people like in that town work at the factory? Is that like probably one of your big industries in that spot?
Absolutely. It's like, the major thing in the town. So I think in Sherrill and Munnsville, which are our two locations, Munnsville, which is an old school, which is part of the Ferris story, which is neat. And the new Sherrill factory that we have, I think we employ between 12 and 1,300 people.
Okay.
And they're all right from the surrounding area. Maybe someone will drive from like Syracuse and Utica, but most of them are right in the heart of Vernon and Sherrill and those little small towns. So it's cool.
Awesome.
Okay. Yeah. It's really cool. Yeah. Do you want to touch on like the old school? I thought that was like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, like it's super. I mean, like again, so I mean, I came to Ferris about a year ago, the August of 2023, and I came to Ferris through the world of NASCAR. So like people who know Ferris know that Ferris has been involved in NASCAR for many years, and there's racing DNA in the suspension, and Todd Gordon, who won the Cup Series championship with Joey Logano, designed our first suspension system, which is super cool. But I came into the Ferris world through the 52 truck that's on the Truck Series with Stuart Friesen. I kind of managed. They call me Mr. Everything, but I kind of managed, the sponsorships. I managed PR, the marketing, photos, video, hand Stuart a water after the race, book travel.
Okay.
All that stuff. And lo and behold, made a connection with Ferris, and we started talking to Bill Shea, who's no longer with us, but he was instrumental in bringing the Truck Series piece to Ferris and in the NASCAR world, and that's kind of how I got pulled into it. And as the story goes, back in the day when Ferris Mowers was outgrowing their small Vernon location, which is an old, almost like it's called a Quonset hut. It's kind of like almost like a long garage. They were outgrowing it. They couldn't keep up with demand. And Bill Shea, who was in charge of sales for Ferris, really one of the key players. His son Brad was going to school in Munnsville and had skipped school because he wanted to go snowmobiling. So the superintendent calls Bill and says, "Hey, we need to talk." So Bill goes down there. Lo and behold, they're talking, and Bill goes back to the factory. He talks to Phil, who's the other key player really in the business at that time. And he says, "Hey, I think I solved our problem of our outgrowing of the Vernon location. I went to Munnsville to the school because I had to talk to the superintendent because Brad was in trouble for skipping school and going snowmobiling. But that's, whatever."
That's funny.
But lo and behold, they wanted to sell the school to Ferris for $1 and move their manufacturing there. So we ended up, purchasing this old high school and converting it into a factory.
Wow.
And that's kind of, one of the main roots of the story. And we still make mowers and stuff there today.
So it's still kind of laid out as obviously kind of converted, but can you still tell it was a school?
Oh yeah. In the front, Brandon's been in there. There's old classrooms still. It just, it's pretty cool. And if you have a chance to check out the history video that we made, it's at ferrismowers.com. The old part of the school, the original building, there's probably lead paint. I don't know what it is. Peeling on the walls, cobwebs, old blackboards. Everything is untouched. Looks like the hands of time have stopped. It's pretty interesting. So we captured a lot of that when we did the history video for Ferris, and it's cool to see.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah,
it's pretty neat.
Yeah. That's how the school worked. And then obviously, I think they employed 300-400 people there and then ended up outgrowing the school. So the school now is pushed to the max. They have things stacked in there. They're unable to keep up with demand. So then we ended up purchasing the new factory that we have, which formerly, if you're a silverware buff, or maybe you were having a wedding registry at all in the last, I don't know how many years, but if you ever heard of Oneida Silverware, which is, a pretty legendary silverware brand, that used to be made in Sherrill in this factory. And then I think Oneida ended up moving and the factory sat dormant, became available. Ferris bought it, remodeled it, and now it's the state-of-the-art facility where we churn out, unspeakable amount of mowers a year and employ 1,200 to 1,300 people in the building. And there's 5 or 6 assembly lines running at all times. So it's cool. Wow.
Yeah. And you said they were pumping out 400 mowers a day, something like that?
Yeah, that's probably about average, where we are. We ship from the New York factory all over the world. So all the mowers we make there go to Australia and Italy and France and the Netherlands, Canada. One of our favorite places.
Not to Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
Not yet. We need to have some dealers.
Not yet. Yeah.
We need dealers there.
Not yet.
But yeah, so that's kind of what the operation looks like up there. It's really small town.
Yeah.
It's an old dairy community, old dairy farming community.
Mm-hmm.
So the people there have this crazy work ethic, right? They're used to getting up early. They're used to hard work. Nothing. They can DIY their way out of anything. They can figure things out.
Yeah.
So it's a perfect combination for this magical place where you can make mowers. And we think they're some of the best mowers you can possibly get, which I would say yes after riding them and trying them out. When you see them.
Mm-hmm.
I think Brandon agrees with you. He's a big fan. He's always talking about them. So
I'd have to agree. Now, yeah, I just looked this morning. We have 123 hours on our new stand on, which is crazy. Like, I feel like we just got it a couple months ago. And
Yeah.
so that thing has totally helped our business. Yeah, we're quicker on lawns. If I'm on it all day, my body isn't beat up like it normally is.
Yeah.
So it's great. I don't know.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's what people always say, like, hey, oh, I like this other mower or this other brand or whatever. I'm like, just try one of our, just like, if you
just try it.
Just try it. And I'm not even going to tell you anything. Like, if you sit on it and ride it, or you stand on it and ride it, it just speaks for itself. And it's hard to go back to a different brand if you experience how nice these things operate and ride. And it's I don't know, just say, like, just ride it. That's why we do have a team of demos, product specialists as part of our factory team that go around in the US. And if we see somebody using a different mower, we'll pull over, pop it on the trailer, try this.
So they'll do that?
Oh yeah, we like to create
that's a cool thing to do.
We like to create magical moments and blow people's minds. Just go out there and just, here's a hat, try this mower.
Yeah.
Let me know what you think. Kind of a deal.
Is that what that Colton guy does? I see him. He's always on my Instagram and stuff. Yeah, so that's what he does. And he goes around and
so people can go on our website and schedule a demo. So they're like, hey, I want to try a Ferris, and Colton or one of our other product specialists in the region will bring a trailer, usually with 2 or 3 mowers in there. We'll have like a 3300 sit down mower. We'll have a Z3 stand on. Might have a smaller Z1 for getting in and out of gates really easily. They'll bring them out there and let you try it. Get your feedback. Show you, talk to you about it. Show you how easy it is to change the oil. All that kind of stuff.
If you ever need to change it.
Yeah, if you ever need to change it.
Like, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah. All that stuff. So yeah, it's one of our secret weapons, I think, is really having the product specialist team that can go out there and really get hands-on with people, and create those magical moments. Like, there's nothing I love more than seeing somebody mowing with a Ferris. And I always stop what I'm doing and pull over and be like, hey, I'm Chad, I do marketing at Ferris. Like, how do you like your machine?
Oh, nice.
I just love to get the feedback.
Right.
So
that's cool.
We have a lot of fun with what we do. And, it's a great product, but I don't know. I get excited about it. So
yeah, I do too. I mean, I didn't know you guys had the whole suspension thing so locked down, right? Like, I just assumed every mower has suspension, but that's not the case, right?
Yeah, you think so, right? I mean, at this point, every car has suspension, truck, four-wheeler, whatever you're driving has suspension on it. But nobody else has real suspension on their mower. I mean, like, it's one of those things like that was developed through racing. Where we're like, Bill Shea was like literally with Todd Gordon at a racetrack, and they're standing behind Todd's race car after a race, and they're like, why doesn't a mower have suspension? Everything else I have has suspension. So they started working on this suspension program for the Ferris mower, and 20 patents later, we're the only ones that have the true suspension. You'll see a lot of gimmicks out there. You'll see a lot of like, platform seats and fancy seats or little, shocks or things in the front that are,
right.
But there's only really one true suspension in mowing, and that's Ferris. And I don't think people really realize that a lot of the times. People may see it and think, hey, that's complicated, that might break. But we also have a 5-year warranty on our suspension, and nobody ever has a suspension failure.
Yeah, and I know I've been beating the hell out of it. And it's bouncing right back. So
yeah, so that's cool. Good. I'm glad you're beating it up. I mean, the harder you can push it, the better. That's what these mowers are built for. They're not some like Toys R Us type mower. It's like these things should take a beat down. I
sense that quite quickly with the 37 horsepower motor on there. That that's no joke. That thing, man. Like.
Yeah, it'll probably fly, will it?
In my opinion, it's a little overkill, but like, that's what you guys are all about, overbuilding stuff. Yeah, in my opinion, too. Nobody ever comes to me and says, "Hey, can you make a mower with less horsepower?" No one ever says that. They always want more. Like, give us more. So and like the 37 on that stand on you have, that thing's a beast. I mean, you're not going to bog down. No, I know. I was cutting some gnarly grass. And it didn't really bog down at all. So I was amazed. And the speed. like the speed you can mow, that is insane.
Yeah, you can hammer down.
You can hammer down, and it somehow keeps up mowing.
Yeah, cut quality is important. Cut quality is crucial. And, we spend a lot of time researching and engineering the decks and, the suspension and the whole mower. Like, people don't even know about the whole R&D center. You could tell, Brandon, them about the R&D center. Wasn't that incredible when you guys?
Yeah, that was
think?
That was super cool. It felt like we're like in a behind the scenes dungeon, where like a Batman dungeon or something. And then like you got this little window, and then you see the Ferris just getting beat up.
Yeah.
Right. It's on a dyno, and it's like just boom, boom, hitting the suspension. So
you told me
cool.
about that.
Yeah. Super
Yeah.
cool seeing it. Yeah. And I remember, Chad, you're like, don't post any of this, guys. We can't show it. Right. And then
secret.
Ken goes and posts it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, come on, guys. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Good times.
It's all good. I like to tell people about it and show people. We have released a lot of social with clips from, the R&D department, because it's like another one of those things like, boy, you guys really put this much thought into a mower? And like, yeah, we really, really do. And, like you're talking about we call it the bump dyno. It's basically like a treadmill, Martin, for the mower that you can basically run it 24/7 for like weeks
Forever.
Mm-hmm.
and months on end.
It just keeps going.
Well, I guess that's really the only way to test like if you say 5 years, like you have to be able to run
it's like
5 years of
I guess so.
time on it. Yeah.
Yeah, you try to like accelerate time. What I mean? Squeak 5 years into, I don't know how many, a couple months of running, but we have fuel hooked to these mowers, so they're running 24/7. They're on the bump dyno, which simulates rough ground. It's hitting these bumps. And one of the things that like is interesting is if you ever would see a competitive unit on there with no suspension, and how quickly the mower just basically will come apart. How the frames will bend and break. And then you see the Ferris just performing. It's like, again, it's a no-brainer, And if people really understand that kind of, thought process and research that goes into it, I think you'd want to get a Ferris next time you buy a mower.
Yeah. I'm Team Red. Let's just say that. So
double down.
Yeah, double down. So
that's cool.
And I know. Yeah, we got Expo coming up, Chad. I know. How busy are you getting prepared for all that?
Super busy. Super excited. We're going to have you, Brandon, on stage, I hear.
Yeah,
possibly.
What's that all about?
Oh my gosh. We're going to have
find out when you get there.
Yeah.
You're going to have to present and talk about mowing to a whole plethora of people in the audience. So
we'll
hope
see
you're not
what
easily
happens.
Embarrassed up there.
Oh no.
It'll be fun. Every year we
started
have
this, didn't we?
Yeah, you did. Every year we have a bunch of our factory team members and influencers and people in the industry kind of get up and talk about what we're doing. And this year having you on the stage is going to be extra special.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
So I'm honored you asked me, and I'm looking forward to it. So can't wait.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a really fun week.
Yeah.
Better start writing your speech.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see about that.
I know we're going to have you in front of a giant jumbotron with your
nice.
With you on it. So be ready for that.
We'll make it happen. I'm not worried about it.
No. Talk about the crooked stripes.
Yeah, we'll talk about the crooked stripes.
Talk about Stripe Life Canada.
Yeah. We'll talk about it all.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you probably shouldn't say, but you're gonna probably let the listeners know anyway for the Expo?
Ooh, I can't control myself.
I know.
We've been working behind the scenes like nonstop, thinking about things, strategizing, and like learning things, and like working on partnerships, etc. And this year's Expo is going to be epic for a lot of reasons. You're there. Ken Morris is going to be there. All of our factory team members are going to be there.
Yeah,
which is huge. And we know, when Ken Morris is there, he probably is going to give some cool stuff away.
Oh yeah, he's always giving something away.
But rumor has it he's going to be back in our booth, and we're going to have some cool Yeti cooler giveaways.
Yep.
All that kind of stuff. Keychains, Stripe Life, SWO stickers, all that.
Nice.
But we're also going to have some other cool stuff. And I know, getting a thumbs up here. I know that if you guys have tuned into our social media feeds, you kind of have had some teasers this week, etc. But
I did see that this morning. I seen some black.
yeah,
You're being real mysterious on there.
having a lot of fun with it.
But
honestly,
I showed the boys. I'm like, look what Chad's posting, fellas. What is this gonna be?
Yeah, a little teaser there.
Yeah,
so
it's exciting.
Yeah, kind of like that's what we've been working on, and this year we kind of came out with the whole Ferris factory team piece, which you're a part of.
Yeah.
And it's really kind of a movement, if you will, and we're trying to, blur the lines, if you will, culture-wise between us and I see a lot of other things out there, be it motorsports, power sports, racing, that kind of only one mower company can really play in that space, and that's Ferris. No one else can, no one else really has the DNA to kind of play in the space where we're going.
Right.
Yeah. So Expo this year, I think, is going to be one for the record books. Last year we had a lot of fun, and, we made some serious connections, and people were impressed with the booth. We had an amazing demo area. But this year I think we're going to be doing some extra special things.
Okay.
Should I reveal those things here on the Crooked Stripes
We're listening.
podcast?
Oh,
absolutely.
100%.
Awesome.
Heard it here first, folks.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Yeah.
Breaking news.
Love it.
Perfect. So we've been doing kind of a teaser campaign. If you've been following social media on Facebook or Instagram.
Yes, I have been following
or LinkedIn
that.
or X or wherever you follow us. We've been doing that little teaser campaign, which has been alluding to some sweet goodness and excitement for Expo. So I guess I can tell you guys kind of what's going on. And the listeners of the Crooked Stripes podcast, we have been working very hard behind the scenes all year long, ever since the last Expo. And we've formed some incredible partnerships. A lot of these partners that we've brought in come from my world of NASCAR, racing, etc.
Okay.
And we kind of set out to say, if we could build the most amazing mowers that have ever existed, what would they look like? What would the components be? What would they do? How would they perform? And then we're like, how far can we go with it? And I'm like, let's go to the insane level that really makes no sense. Like, you would never be able to do this if you were not Ferris. Racing is in our DNA. Like, you talk about suspension, you talk about all these things. Like, with another brand, you just can't play in this space. And like, the factory team piece is a movement. It's kind of a culture. It's a way for our fans, a way for our owners, a way for our team members to kind of feel like they're part of something special. So we're like, let's take all that and kind of like wrap it into some mowers that we can blow people's minds with. And this year at Expo, we're going to have not one, but two Ferris Factory Team Edition mowers that are going to be in the building. And these mowers are really extra special for a lot of reasons. And one of the reasons is they're black. They're badass. They are mean looking mowers. They are really built out with components that you just can't even buy. For example, we partnered up with Bilstein, who you guys may know of, who, they're one of the world leaders in suspension technology. So I reached out to Aaron Morey, who's in charge of Bilstein Motorsports in North America. And I'm like, I got an idea. I'm like, why can't we work closely with Bilstein to develop the most incredible shock that's ever been created for a Ferris? And, Aaron's the kind of guy who's, every night he's working with Jonathan Davenport, for example, like in the dirt late model world, working with the best of the best on the cutting edge of suspension technology. So he developed for our factory team mowers, which we're going to have a 3300. I'll let this out of the bag.
Let it out of the bag. 3300.
Mm-hmm. We're also going to have a Z3 stand-on in the same trim.
Let's go.
Is the Z3, that's what you have, right, Brandon? The Z3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolute beast.
So Bilstein is making these shocks for us that are aluminum body, adjustable valving, threaded body that you can basically adjust the spring rates, etc., change the valving, adjust the ride.
Wow.
And you can rebuild them, revalve them, etc. They're really ridiculous overkill for a lawnmower. But why not? We want to have fun with this. So Aaron and the crew of Bilstein have been working on this. We've been getting components from Germany sent in, and we have them, and they're incredible. And the next piece of the puzzle is the spring. And we didn't want to just use any spring. And obviously, you guys know, like, here's my shock. This is what comes on the 3300 mower. So you have your shock itself, you have the shaft, and then you have the coil, the spring, that actually provides the spring, the ride. So when it comes to springs, there's some key players in the world of springs and coils. And, you know, when I think of the absolute best coils you can buy on planet Earth, I think of hypercoils. And if you don't know about hypercoils, or Hyperco as well, they are the company that is the competition partner with NASCAR, for example. So any cup race, any cup series race you see, you know, every car is outfitted with hypercoil springs.
Okay.
You know, they're the industry leader with dirt late models, dirt modifieds, you know, sprint cars, the cup stuff, Formula One. And now, through the power of our partnerships, we're going to have Bilstein shock absorbers outfitted with hypercoil springs on these Ferris factory team mowers, which is totally sick and ridiculous. So that's one piece of the puzzle. Another
part A.
That's part A.
That's
Now,
awesome.
I got a quick. Do you get like funny looks from some of these partners when you tell them what you're trying to do to put them on a lawnmower? Like, do you get the crazy look?
I thought I was going to. I'm like, hey, Aaron, I got this idea. But guess what? These guys were super jacked about it. They're like, yes, we want to do it.
Let's go.
So they're just as fired up.
They're fired up about it, and they're really gung ho to make it happen. So,
I love hearing it.
Yeah, so we have the shocks, we have the spring package dialed in for these mowers, which is going to be one of the best performing spring packages and shocks. It's just like ridiculous to even have this. Then we're like, well, let's work with our other partners. Who else do we know that makes industry leading, you know, products? And a name that came to mind in the world of mowing is Michelin. So we went to Michelin and we're like, hey, you know, we've never run tweels all the way around our mowers, you know, this and that. Like, can we come up with something that's going to work? And, you know, Michelin's like, hey, we're on board. So Michelin has provided us with tweels for the rear and the fronts of both of these mowers that are going to be outfitted that work in conjunction with the spring rate, the progressive spring rate that we're running on the suspension. So it's going to be a real seamless package that's awesome. And it's going to come all together. We're also going to have a Ferris mower in the Michelin booth as well at Expo, which is super cool.
Oh, that's cool.
And maybe we'll get an appearance with the Michelin Man as well on stage. You know, maybe a spoiler
Let's
alert.
go.
But so we have that. We have the Bilstein shocks. We have the hypercoil springs. We got the Michelin tweels all the way around. You know, and then I'm like, what else can we do to make these mowers like the most incredible things that have ever been created? And if you know anything about NASCAR, Formula One, any of those race cars, you know the steering wheels. And you know, if you've ever held one in your hands, the material that wraps the steering wheel, it's kind of like a suede material. It's called Alcantara. And if you're holding a NASCAR steering wheel, it's like any of your driving gloves on. You really don't have to put much grip on the wheel to grip it. The gloves and everything just kind of like hold it like fly tape. So it's like you can be relaxed on the wheel. It feels great. Super premium feel. Like, this is the material that if you got into a Lamborghini, it's kind of like what wraps the dashboard and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So I'm like, why can't we get with Seats Inc., who does a lot of the seats for us, and let's see if we can find this material. And lo and behold, we called Seats Inc. They're like, what? You know, we haven't heard of that material. We never used that material before. And they were super jacked about finding it. So they went to the ends of the earth. They went to the ends of the earth to find a waterproof Alcantara. Because, of course, you know, if someone has a mower like this, it might sit outside. It's going to get rained on.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
It's
So
reality.
we can't have, like, you know, something get ruined. So Seats Inc. sourced some waterproof Alcantara from Italy. We had it flown in.
From Italy.
We had, I mean, no big deal. And then we had, you know, Seats Inc. made us, you know, some incredible seats with this material, with factory team logo, you know, embroidery on them. So the 3300 has an Alcantara seat. The Z3 has the Alcantara knee pad. And when you're at Expo, you guys, you need to feel it. Just like touch your hand on it, just see how it feels. It's like super cool.
Yeah.
There's nothing else like it. So yeah, so we got we got the shocks, we got the springs, we got the wheels, we got the seat package, we got the performance piece. Of course, these things are outfitted with Vanguard Beast motors, the big blocks. 40 horse and the 3300, the 37 on the stand up. So it's like way more power than you ever need.
Oh, way
We're not going to
more.
bog down. Because again, like I think we talked about this before, but in the world of Ferris Mowers, nobody ever knocks on my door and says, "Hey, Chad, can you guys make a mower with less horsepower?"
Yeah.
They don't do that.
Yeah, a little less powerful. That's all. No big deal.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, no big deal. Dial it down. No, they don't do that. People always want more power. So, we're going to give them like ridiculous amounts of power. And speaking of power, we're going to be making power with another partner of ours, VP Racing Fuel, who wanted to come on board for this. They're like, they heard what we're doing. VP knocked on the door. They're like, yeah. They're like, how can we be a part of this? So VP is going to be actually fueling all of our demo mowers at Expo. So if you come to Expo and you see these factory T mowers and you're outside, you're trying our mowers, you're going to be fueled by like the best fuel in the business, VP Racing Fuel.
Should smell good out there, should it not?
It's going to smell real good. I love the way it smells.
That's what I was thinking. Let's go.
Yeah. I never thought of that before. How much fuel you guys must go through in a demo booth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good
It's
point.
hundreds of gallons. Hundreds of gallons.
So
so
just going
VP's
all
gonna
day?
be there with all day long. All day long. So VP's going to be on board with that. And then, we'll have the mowers. But these Ferris factory T mowers, we had to outfit them with the right graphics package too. So our graphics team at Ferris came up with this sick design that kind of ties into our factory team logo look.
Cool.
So when you see it, you know what it is. It's one of those things like, wow, that's pretty striking. But so we got these things wrapped. And in the world of NASCAR, I used to work for Stuart Friesen, who drives the 52 truck on the Craftsman Truck Series.
Right.
And he also races dirt modified race cars. And I went to the same guy who does all the wraps and graphics for Stuart's dirt modifieds, who happens to live in New York. And under the cover of darkness, because I didn't want anybody to see these mowers, we're like loading them up the factory out of the R&D center, covered in tarps. Don't look over here. So it's dark at night. I'm taking them, getting them wrapped, bringing them back. But we did this insane graphics package that pays homage to all of our sponsors, if you will, all the partners.
Cool.
And it's like something no one's ever seen. So we're super stoked to have the Z3 mower factory team edition and the 3300 factory team edition mower at Expo. So, but
Unreal.
That's awesome.
that's not even enough though.
Just
Because-
keep it going, Chad. Wait,
Are you
hold
ready?
on. Did
right.
you say you have this Italian? I forget even what the name was. Is it on the knee pads on the stand on? Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's just where it's at right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
Because
it's gonna
those knee
hold you-
pads, that's a sweet little feature that I didn't know until I was on it all day, and I slouched down a bit. And I'm like, oh, that's why those are there. That's great.
Yeah.
It's little knee
Yeah.
pads there. So
Took you 123 hours to figure it out, eh?
yeah, but I figured it out.
The Alcantara is going to hold you right there. Like there's
Yeah,
nothing
nice.
there's nothing like that feels like Alcantara. Like there's nothing like it. It's so
that's cool.
premium, so high end, it's so racing inspired. It's like it's just like the total package.
Just goes with
So-
the Ferris theme. I see where you're going, Chad.
Yeah. Nobody, like I said, nobody can play. I mean, no other manufacturer can really play in this space the correct way because nobody really has the true suspension like we have.
Right,
and the
yeah.
DNA of racing and all this stuff. So we're blurring the lines between, mowing and racing and power sports and lifestyle into this Ferris factory team piece, which, we're trying to do things that have never been done before, which is fun. So that being said, the big drum roll of what we're going to be doing with these mowers at
Let's go.
Expo is on Thursday, 3 p.m. at Expo. You're going to want to be in the Ferris booth because we're going to be giving these two mowers away to people
At the show.
Expo, at the show.
Whoa.
Crazy.
Wow.
Bomb
Crazy.
dropped, giving them away. That's wild.
It's
That
going to be
is too-
insane.
Yeah.
It's going to be
That
insane.
will
So
be
you're going to
insane.
Custom pimped out mowers.
yeah, to the extreme, and they're
Like
really one of a kind.
extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
No
like
kidding.
a collector's piece. Like if I
I
wanted,
don't
to,
think
I'd
I
probably,
would-
like, put it in a barn and not touch it.
Yeah, hang it up or something.
Yeah, they're incredible. So
That's so cool.
You're gonna have like not one, but you're gonna have two chances to enter to win. So if you're inside our Ferris booth, the Briggs and Stratton booth, you're gonna be able to enter there.
Okay.
You know, right next to Ken Morris from the Stripe Life, who's going to be giving away
You can't miss
10
Ken.
Yeti coolers.
Yep.
You're going to see him there. You can enter to win a factory team mower, one of the two there. Then if you go outside and demo a Ferris mower, we're not just going to demo it. We're going to give you a free t-shirt for demoing a mower. So please demo a mower. You get a free Ferris t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And then enter to win a second time. So you have 2 entries, one inside, one outside. We're going to draw the winner on Wednesday. This is going to be old school entries. It's going to be, we're not like doing some like, you know, hey, enter this lead form and then we're going to hound you.
Yeah.
It's like write your name and number on this ticket, put it in the box.
Yeah.
And we're going to draw it live 3 p.m. On Wednesday.
I like
and
it.
you got to be there to win it.
Is it Wednesday or Thursday?
Thursday.
Thursday.
Sorry, my bad.
Thursday.
Okay.
Thursday.
Sorry.
Okay.
That was
Yeah.
good
You gotta-
clarification.
Thank you, Martin.
Yeah.
But you got to be there to win
You
it.
gotta
So if
be
you call
there.
your name and you're not there, it's like, it's going to be, you know, probably wait 30 seconds. No
Yeah.
response.
Yeah.
You draw another name.
That's what happened
So-
last year. There's a lot of
Yeah.
people that didn't win.
That was
I
the
know.
old Cub Cadet giveaway.
Yeah.
It probably went
Yep.
through 30 names.
I think people learned their lesson.
Yeah.
Hope so.
Yeah.
I think
so.
so. Wow.
Yeah.
He at the Ferris booth. Definitely.
I shouldn't have said anything. I should have said, let's
Actually,
just
yeah.
say Wednesday at 3, and I could be the only guy
Yeah.
there Thursday at 3
Yeah, right.
o'clock.
Yeah.
Damn it. I just ruined my
Oh.
chance.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, we're stoked. It's going to be exciting. I mean, I don't know. Is it too much? Maybe. You know, is it crazy? Yes.
You know what? Yeah. You guys are already overbuilding these machines in my, like, they're so overbuilt and overpowered in a good way.
Yeah.
So, like, why would you turn the tap off now? I don't know.
No.
Just keep it
We're
going.
just like, I mean, dumping gasoline on the fire of excitement. You know, can't help ourselves.
Yep.
So
I love
it's going to
it.
be a lot of fun. It's going to be epic. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm glad I got to announce it first here on the Crooked Stripes podcast.
Nice. Well,
Thanks
all
for
of our
coming on and
listeners here.
sharing it with us. That's
thanks
awesome.
for doing
My
that,
pleasure.
man.
My
Yeah,
pleasure.
everyone will be stoked about that. And we talk about the expo all the time, so I think a lot of people that are listening will be there, so they will in turn go to the Ferris booth. So that's
Yes.
awesome.
They need to go do a demo, get a free t-shirt. We're also going to have like, you know, there's so many expo spoilers, but we're going to
Yeah.
have some really cool interactive displays out there. Maybe a live
Okay.
DJ. Why not? Because we can do whatever we want, right? So
Yeah,
let's have a
whatever.
DJ.
Yeah, you're the
Outside.
guy.
Yeah, I mean, who cares? We're going all the way. So
I
we're gonna have a
love
DJ.
it.
We're gonna have all of our engineers on hand to answer any questions. Hey, you got a question about
Oh,
what does
that's
this
cool.
do? Here's the guy. Here's Bob Lauren who designed this mower.
Yeah.
He's like Steve Wozniak of Ferris. You know, who you can talk to about any minute detail or any question you have. And he's gonna have a component table with all of our components, shocks, springs, you know, 3D printed things, hubs, you name it, to look at.
Okay.
We're going to have suspension displays as well, so you can really get up close and look at the inner workings of the Ferris suspension, which has 20 patents on it. So we're not concerned that you're going to steal the idea, but we want to show you what it's made of. We're going to have all that there. We're going to have our ICD Plus deck on display so you can look at the top side. And you look at the Hercules spindles that are like the toughest thing you could possibly ever imagine running. You know, the belts, the blades, the flow, all that kind of stuff. So it's just going to be a great place to learn and see things and try our mowers versus everybody else. I always say, once you sit on a Ferris, I'm not like being like ridiculous here, but like the mowers do the talking. They really,
Yeah.
really do. Like they really do. I'm saying if you ever sit on a Ferris, you are lucky enough to ride a Ferris, you're going to be like, nothing else comes close.
Yeah, it's hard to come back. Because we have that Cub Cadet stand on 54-inch, and it's a
Yeah.
nice mower and it does a good job. But then
Sure.
I hopped on the Ferris and I'm like, this is in another category. Like it's not the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can't really compare it because it's just differently built. I don't know. So
Different league.
different league. I would have
Yeah.
to agree. So
Yep.
wow. That is some exciting news. I am stoked for the expo this year.
I am too. I'm
Yeah.
probably gonna be a little bit concerned and scared on the drawing day. I might be hiding in the fetal position somewhere because it's going to be packed wall to wall, I suspect, with people.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna be a frenzy.
Based
So-
on last year because of the Hustler 3 mower and trailer giveaway. That was
Wow.
wild.
Yeah, I was walking
So-
around during that and I was like,
Yeah.
what? I mean,
What's
I know there's a
happening?
concert going on. I know there's a mosh pit here.
Yeah.
I was gonna start
know.
crowd surfing.
Crazy.
We'll dial that up a few notches.
Oh yeah, we'll be bringing that to the Ferris booth. Dial it up a few, definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Cool.
good. Okay.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Exciting
All
stuff.
awesome. Sweet.
Yeah.
We'll get Martin on a red one this year.
I'm way more likely to try one of those versus a walker.
Yeah, fair enough.
He tried last year to get me on one, and I'm like, no. Oh, I used that bus.
Yeah.
That steering system's
It's a
stupid.
little different.
Yeah.
That's a joy of expos. Like, you can literally try anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything.
You know, and that's, I always say leave the Ferris for last. Like, leave the Ferris for last. Try everything else.
that's true.
And especially for me, because like out here, we talked before, like there's not a whole lot of options. Like I said, we have Kubota, John Deere. I've been using Kubota forever. I love it, whatever.
Sure.
But like just some of these brands, like I've never even seen them before until I was there.
Until we were there.
Yeah.
That was the first time I've ever seen a walker mower was last year at Equip Expo.
Sure.
Yeah, which is crazy.
And like all these things that they just don't have them here. We don't have dealers for it. It's just kind of, so that's one of the reasons I love going. Because I get to see so much other stuff that I normally would miss out on. I know you said you started August 23 and Equip is October. That's not a whole lot of turnaround time to kind of get involved. So you kind of just got thrown into the fire, or how'd that go for you?
Well, that was, going to Equip first time for me was like a major eye-opening experience. I came, out of the NASCAR arena in August, and now I'm, in the lawnmower business, and going to Equip kind of really taught me a lot about the space. Like, who are we surrounded by? What's going on? What's the end user like? What's the dealer like? And one of the cool things about going to Equip early on for me was seeing other booths and seeing what people are doing. And, one of the key takeaways and realizations from Equip last year that I had for our team was, when you walk around in some of these other booths, most of the other booths, they have like stock images of, people on mowers, models with perfect hair, guys with makeup on, with lighting and all this stuff on a mower. And looking at people's social, it's a lot like that too. So the realization that I had was, if we get raw and we get real and we really connect with the end user in a way no one else is doing it, it's going to be all too easy for Ferris to kind of like grow and become a major player in the industry. It kind of awoke in my mindset to like, we can dominate the industry. We can grow the company. We can bring on new customers. We can actually resonate with people. And like, when you go through your news feed and you see the stock imagery or the canned marketing stuff, you're not going to stop.
See ya.
No.
You're not going to stop.
No,
Gosh.
definitely not doing that. And
and like the raw and real piece of with Expo last year, speaking of that, I don't know if you guys were, I think Brandon and you guys were there, but the last day of Expo, it started raining like crazy outside in the demo area.
Right.
And I was walking around and I'm like going to other competitors and they're like, they will not let you get on a mower. Oh, it's wet out. We don't want to get these machines muddy, etc. So I'm like, why don't we step up? Because these people have traveled to come to Expo. Yeah. Let's blow them away. So like, let's go full throttle with our demo area, even though it's soaked out there, even though it's nasty. And Colton Medlin, who you guys may know, who's one of our product specialists, pulls out his iPhone and he starts filming two of our product specialists out there having some fun. They're doing donuts. They're sliding around. There's mud flying. And he captured his video and we reposted it on all of our channels. And wouldn't you know it, the views that it got and the exposure it got turns out to be even more valuable than probably the whole Expo booth itself, which costs a fortune.
Yeah.
And like that realization in that moment that people want to see real things, it was a game changer for us. And the trajectory we've been on since then has been ridiculous. We've doubled our social media following size. We've surpassed some of the giants of the industry, as far as eyeballs on our brand go. And the sky's really the limit. And this whole factory team mower piece that we're doing this year is just going to add fuel to the fire, which I'm super stoked about.
Yeah, that'll definitely get some eyes on you for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I know you keep mentioning your kind of product specialist, that sort of stuff in your factory team. And I know Brandon's on it. Who else is on the factory team?
Well, we have some key players on there. I mean, obviously, Brandon's on there. Ken Morris from the Stripe Life US is on there. Johnny Crooks, lives down Blades of Grass, who lives down in Savannah, Georgia, is on there as well. He has a stand on of ours, and he loves it, and he does a great job giving us feedback. Richie Plemons is there. Ole Poole out of Salisbury, North Carolina. Also known as the Fescue Freak, one of the kings of striping. Is a key player on our factory team who we get tons of knowledge on the cut quality and things we could be doing better constantly on. And bringing this factory team together with our R&D department for feedback and development has been crucial. Absolutely crucial. So those guys, and then also as part of the factory team, we do have our product specialists who travel the U.S., demoing the mowers, creating those magical moments where if you see somebody on the side of the road who's using a competitor mower, we're going to pull over and we're going to be like, hey, I'm from Ferris.
Try this. Yeah.
And just, hey, let me pull one of these 3 mowers I have on the back out. Try this thing and just let me know what you think about it. And hey, here's some swag, here's some merch or whatever. Yeah. So all that those guys on the factory team and the product specialists together has just created such a circle of goodness for us in so many levels.
Yeah. I met Johnny when I was down at a Cressing. Super nice, super knowledgeable fella. Yeah,
and he'll tell you the way it is. Like, he knows cut quality. He knows the business of mowing. Yeah. He's a great content producer.
Yeah. Very straight shooter too.
Yeah, and he works with some other competitive units, other competitors of ours too. And it's just been an eye opener as far as the knowledge we can gain from working with someone like him or a Brandon, who's on the Crooked Stripes podcast all the time. But we love it, and we love being up in Canada as well. That's untapped for us as far as the potential there, and we've been adding a lot of dealers in that Toronto region where Brandon is, but we do need to get up to Nova Scotia where you're at, Martin, and we do need to go beyond, and I think the future is just so bright there.
I know.
I think there's lots of potential for sure, right? So
totally some potential up here, I would say too, big time.
For sure.
Definitely you see Ferris around here, but it's not that prevalent than obviously we're in New York, right? But they're around. So
I think I mean Kerr that was on here, Jason.
They run.
I know he said they were pretty, and he was a huge fan. He loved. He said nothing but good things about them. So
that's great.
Oh yeah,
that's great. Yeah, I never say anything bad about a lot of our competition. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, everybody's out here to make a great product. We sell. When you talk about Ferris and the family, Briggs and Stratton that we're a part of, obviously we make a lot of the engines that a lot of our competitors use. Like if you see a Vanguard or a Briggs motor in a unit, we made that. So it's cool. And I definitely give all of our competitors, good luck to everybody, and it's a great industry to be a part of, and every time we get together and you go to Expo or go to a conference and I meet people that are out there mowing, it's like, these are great people. Entrepreneurial spirit, go-getters, and it's great to be a part of it.
So how do you like that? Like, how would you compare like kind of the green industry to kind of like coming from your NASCAR world and that sort of stuff? Is it a lot of similar stuff, a lot of differences? Like,
I would say it's very similar as far as the audience goes. Like, when we would do a NASCAR event, for example, like a lot of the people in the stands or in the pits or whatever, are mowing their own lawn. They're DIY. They may own a lawn care company. Like I remember I was working in NASCAR, and my role was, working with Stuart Friesen. They called me Mr. Everything. I would be the guy who would be doing sponsorship deals. I would be booking travel. I would be doing photos and video and posting things on social. I'd also be handing Stuart a water bottle after the race. Like, it's like I would be everywhere.
Nice.
And like NASCAR, there'd be so many NASCAR officials, the tech guys and stuff. They're like, hey, I own a Ferris. And I'm like, and you own a Ferris too? And like all these people involved in racing were owning Ferrises. So, and when you look at like the DNA of Ferris with the suspension and Todd Gordon, and if you have not heard the story, go to ferrismowers.com, watch our history video we put together. It's about, 5 or 9 minutes. And it takes you from the very beginning to the development of suspension to tough times too. Like, there are a lot of sacrifices made at Ferris, like, in the early days. Like, these guys didn't know if they're going to be around tomorrow. A lot of our team members went without getting paid because they believed in the product. And we came out the other end with just this underdog story and this work ethic that I think you get that in every mower you buy. You know, the culture. I think you're getting that when you buy a Ferris. You know, you can feel the Ferris difference when you stand on it. And you can feel the people that build these things and the quality, the attention to detail, innovation, and all that. So it's all part of the equation. But yeah, the racing audience, very similar to the
green industry.
The green industry audience, for sure.
Nice. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. Hey, what did you think of old Austin Dillon's move for that win at Richmond, Chad?
Woo. I mean,
spicy.
You know, Richard Childress, and Austin Dillon's shop, all they run are Ferris mowers. So if you go to RCR, if you go to Childress Vineyards, you're only going to see them mowing with Ferris mowers there. So we obviously love those guys, and we've partnered with them for a long time. That was a bold move, but
yeah, it was.
I'll tell you. I mean, I gotta side with Richard a little bit on this one, RC himself, because at that moment in time, those are the rules, and it was a win to get in the playoffs.
Yeah, and they needed to win.
Austin made it happen.
Yeah.
By any means necessary.
It
so
wasn't
I mean,
pretty, but he did it.
It wasn't pretty. I mean, I can see where these guys are hurt. The other guys are upset. But
I could see their frustration. But I'm all
all
about do what it takes to win.
I get, and those rule constraints. Like if you got to win to get in, I mean, he made it happen. I mean, it kind of for me harkened back to the old Dale Earnhardt days, honestly.
Okay,
a little bit.
Okay,
like Dale Earnhardt would do those kind of things, and it would be like, that's great. People were excited, or they hated him,
right?
But I mean, this was definitely along those lines. So I don't know if I can agree with it. I see where he had to do something.
Okay,
we love Richard Childress. We love Austin. We love all the RCR crew. Great people. We had some RCR people in our booth last year at Expo. So I don't know. Richard's awesome. One of the coolest things about working with Ferris, Richard Childress actually does text me. So it's shocking.
Oh, that's cool.
He's like, hey, how's it going? What's checking in? Nice. How's everything going? And last year he sent me some. Last year I hear a knock at the door of my house. Go downstairs, open it up. It's FedEx. They have a box of cookies from Richard Childress. I'm like, man, this guy's class. This guy is class, and he appreciates his partnership.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's kind of like the cool stuff that, So I guess I'm a little biased with Richard Childress and that Austin Dillon move, but I think it was
enough. Fair. It was. It
was a clutch move. Let's say that.
I love it.
So
you texted. So when Ken and I were at the race, you texted Ken. You're like, "Yo, man, if you can somehow find Ty Dillon, Austin's brother, who runs. He was running the full, or he wasn't the full Ferris primary.
He had a small sticker on the quarter panel there.
It was big enough, and maybe 2 minutes after you texted Ken, we see Ty walking right down the road with his full Ferris get up. I'm like, there's no way. So then we got a cool picture with him, and we collabed with you. So that was super cool doing that.
That's cool. Ty is such a class act. I mean, class act through and through those guys.
Those guys are awesome.
Yeah, great group of people, and legendary team. Team. I'm glad that they use our mowers for everything that they do there. So that's great. And we have a lot of mowers out there that people don't even know, like the Victory Junction Gang camp, where Richard Petty's a part of, obviously with Kyle Petty.
Okay.
They mow only with Ferris mowers, and we actually every year will donate mowers to them. So, more of the proceeds that they get to help kids can go to the kids, and so in Charlotte Motor Speedway and Atlanta Motor Speedway and Watkins Glen, and the list goes on and on of all these tracks that use Ferris. And we don't really talk about it, but it's the truth. A lot of the Ferris and racing go hand in hand. So
that's cool. I didn't know that. That's super cool.
Yeah, there's so much stuff people don't know.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
I definitely learned a lot in the last little while about Ferris. Cool. Someone that doesn't really know, so love it. Love to learn new stuff.
Yeah,
you'll definitely learn a lot when you get out one too at Expo, and just feel it.
Yeah, we'll get a good Crooked Stripes session on the Ferris.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Let me know when you're out there. I'll bring you guys. We have a tremendous demo area out there with this crazy, road course kind of setup. We put hay bales out there. You can drive them around, beat the mower up, get a free t-shirt, enter to win a factory team mower. It's the total package at Expo for us. And can't wait to have you guys out there.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Super stoked.
Any other hard questions? I don't like
hard questions. I know I get asked a fair bit about electric mowers. Do you guys have any of that kind of in the works or potential for? Because I know, like I said, a lot of it's going in that direction. So it just kind of
great question. I think, I mean, to sum it up, I think we'd say that we do have some robust electric mower things. Some things I can talk about. Some things I can.
Oh,
but when the market adoption rate is there, I think that we have an incredible package through Vanguard, which is owned by Briggs and Stratton in the Ferris family.
Okay.
As far as our battery manufacturing capabilities, we have the ability to produce the batteries that can power these machines, and we have a couple mowers that we've worked on, and we have done a limited release with one mower in particular. Where we made about 45 of these mowers and shipped them out to our dealers, key dealers. And to my knowledge, they've all been purchased and are with end users, and we're gathering feedback right now. We've also, like last year, we had a Z2E stand-on that we unveiled at Expo. But, one of the biggest things we found in doing research and, intense market research, but also research on social media, we feel like the audience right now is just not quite there yet as far as wanting the electric mower. So we're kind of like not going all in on it, but we have, when it's ready to go, we're ready. We have some incredible technology, and you'll know this, Brandon, because you've got to ride the Z2E, but we really obsessed over the feel of the throttle and the controls of the mower, where I've been on a lot of electric mowers, and I ride competitive units all the time for fun to see what they're doing. A lot of them have this jerky feel to them. This kind of like twitchy.
It's either all gas or no brakes, right? It's all gas or nothing. So
it's like hitting a light switch on the wall, electric switch. But at Vanguard with our engineering, we really obsessed around the feel of it. So when you get on like our Z2E, prototype stand-on, boy, it feels like you're driving a gas mower as far as the way it responds to your input.
I would totally agree.
It feels like that. So that's a big thing with us. And at Ferris, I mean, from day one, it's all about the feel, and you can feel the engineering that goes into a Ferris mower when you sit on it. You can feel the people who build them. You can feel the idea behind it. And when it came to the electric piece, we wanted the feel to be the same. So, we definitely have the capabilities to really produce electric mowers at a high volume when we're ready to.
I know what you're saying. Like, there's definitely some weird perceptions on electric right now from people. It's kind of, I think it's kind of being forced onto some people. And I don't think they're too happy about it. So that's, I know, like, you're probably, I know you mentioned before about kind of the comments and stuff on your post, and I think that's just people that are rattled that they're going to have to make the switch eventually. But
who knows?
It is what it is, and
I mean, we'll be there probably eventually, but for now, it's like, like we talked about it. People, from what I've seen in the marketplace, they love big horsepower, they love big performance. And we are in the business of giving people more than what they want. Blowing their minds, dazzling them with an experience that is world class.
And that's Italian cloth. Right to your
Italian
legs.
Alcantara, waterproof.
That's
above
awesome.
and beyond.
Above and beyond. We can't play average here. So
Would that
that's great.
Would that Z2E, would that be like the equivalent to the stand-on I got?
It would be, so we have, if you look at the stand-ons now, we have the Z1, Z2, Z3. Z3 being the biggest one. That's what you have. Z2 is in between. So it's kind of our medium-sized stand-on mower. If you will.
Nice.
But it's capable to cut some serious grass.
It felt, like you said, the feel, like it felt like it just responded so well, right? Like you can feather the throttle and it's not jerky at all. I noticed that right away, just in the cafeteria, ripping it around. So
we were driving them indoors, obviously for fun.
Just burning around the calf.
Ripping around the school, ripping down the hallways.
That's what you see at the Ferris factory. Is just these things happening. We mow all of our own grass with like R&D units. We're doing all that kind of stuff. So, it's fun to see all the mowers running around and in the cafeteria.
And in the calf.
Yep.
No big deal. Electric, no smoke inside. Good to go.
Zero. Nope.
That's great.
So,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
cool.
Sweet,
do you have
guys.
any more questions, Brandon? Or
When is
we hit on a
the...
lot of stuff.
Yeah, but when is the next time we're going to have some Utica clubs? That's a big question.
Oh my goodness. What a quality beverage. Your quality.
Yeah, you want to drink quality? Utica clubs.
Yeah, I don't know if everybody on
Yikes.
this who's watching this or listening to this knows about Utica Club, but when you come to the Ferris factory, that's like the beer to have.
That's what you're
you drink
drinking,
down the
right?
road.
Yeah.
It's one of our favorite beverages to have. May not be top shelf. I'll admit it. It may not be the top shelf beer, but
you know what? I didn't mind it. It wasn't.
No, I didn't mind.
It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
And that's talking about a Pilsner, and Pilsners are not, they don't go down the easiest, so.
Yeah, it's a good cultural piece for our area, that's for sure.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
There we go. How about
Utica
Martin and
and
I will
Ferris.
come down in the winter maybe, and we'll have a couple Utica clubs.
Yeah, we'll take you to the Turning Stone Casino, which is about 5 miles from the factory.
Yeah.
And we'll have some Utica clubs.
There you go.
We'll relive that experience that we had.
I was going to say, it sounds like
you
you
guys
guys
did
did
this
this before.
We did.
Maybe.
We did.
And and what do we put it on? We put it on red, Hotter.
Yes.
All on red.
It's always
ride.
going on red, so.
Let her ride.
That's funny.
Yeah, let's go. Sweet,
Yeah, cool.
guys.
All right, this has
Unreal.
been awesome. This
Yeah,
has been
thanks
super
for-
cool to be here.
Mhm.
Oh,
Thanks for
so
coming
glad
on.
to have you, Chad.
And announcing like the
Yeah.
mower
Oh
my
giveaway
gosh.
on the show. That's
Oh,
awesome.
Brace yourselves.
yeah. Well,
It's going to be epic.
unreal. Yeah, it is going to
Yeah.
be epic.
Wait till you guys see them in person at Expo. You're going to be like, what?
Yeah.
I'm stoked.
know,
I'm trying to
We'll
like
be
picture
getting-
the whole thing now, and it's just like
I know.
this is gonna be mint.
I want to feel the
Yeah, and feel
leather.
the Alcantara.
Yeah, I
Touch
wanna
it. Feel it.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Everyone just be running over and just rubbing rubbing the seat.
yeah. And I don't know, I don't know what the future holds for this, but already on the teaser posts I've been putting out on social media, people are already like, I want one. When can
Yeah.
I get one?
They don't even know.
I
want
need
it.
this.
Yeah.
People are like, I need this. And I'm like, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe if the public speaks, the audience says, hey, you know what? I would buy
That's true.
Mhm.
an insane level mower like this.
Maybe.
I want to be the coolest guy in the block.
Yeah, that's
You know what
true.
I mean? I want to have this mower that's epic. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe people will buy it. Maybe we can actually produce these kind of mowers. I don't know. We'll
Mhm.
see what
I
the,
know
the
I'd
public
want
says.
one.
I would want one.
Yeah. Oh, they sound unbelievable.
Yeah.
So,
I want one. So
well, there it is.
cool, you guys.
Sweet.
Yeah, it was
Awesome, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in, everyone, and appreciate a couple days later. I think it was worth it. What do you guys think?
Absolutely.
Worthwhile
go.
to do it. And
You had to. When does your podcast usually come out? Tuesdays.
Tuesday. Yeah.
So we're
Yeah,
coming out
usually
on Thursday
Tuesday.
now.
yeah.
It'll just come out a couple days later, and it'll be all good.
It's definitely not the first time we've been late putting out an
Nope.
episode.
This is intentionally late.
Yeah, this is purposeful.
Yeah.
Usually it's just because
Yeah.
life gets hard and
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're late. So,
Yeah, we're late,
as we're speaking live right now in the moment, the teaser campaign is happening. So little pieces of these mowers are being released.
yeah.
Little smoky background, kind of dark, ominous vibe.
Mhm.
But by Thursday, when this comes out, people will know.
Yep.
People will know.
You can
win
win here
these.
first.
You can win
Sweet,
these mowers.
Chad. Yeah. Thanks for joining us, man. We'll have to do this post Expo. Definitely.
I'm down.
Awesome. Thanks, Chad. I'm looking
Unreal.
forward to meeting you down there.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Cool, guys. See you next
See you, buddy.
Tuesday.
We want to thank you for listening to the Crooked Stripes podcast. If you liked this episode of the pod, subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It's very much appreciated. Head over to Instagram and follow at the Crooked Stripes. From there, stay up to date on all things lawn, landscaping, and snow removal. Don't forget to join us next week for another episode of the Crooked Stripes. Thanks again for listening.